Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. It's Friday. The reason I am wearing this, I don't know what this... Honey? What the hell did you get me for Memorial Day? I don't know what this is. It's something like a deranged Fraggle headpiece or something. Memorial Day is Monday. Today is Friday, which means we're doing an AMA that you're watching live on YouTube, potentially, if you decided to tune in live for this broadcast. We do live videos every weekday. 2 live videos every weekday, as a matter of fact. Memorial Day. Monday. I'm not going to stream. I'm taking the day off. I'm not burnt out, but everyone needs a day off, right? So I'm taking Monday off. It's a holiday. The LockerGnome team is taking a slight break. We'll still be putting stuff out there, but there will be no videos in the Geek Lifestyles channel on Monday, potentially. I don't know what I'm... Okay, let me backtrack on that, or sidetrack on it. There may be a video in this channel over the course of the weekend or on Monday. I've been working with John Prosser from Front Page Tech. He did a fantastic job editing the What's on My iPad video. For 2014, it was a half-hour long, and he edited it and made it amazing, more amazing than I ever thought it could be. But what we're going to do is we're going to distill that down into like a 3-minute clip or so, and then give that to everybody. So patrons get the full half-hour drunk What's on My iPad video, and I thought it was fun to do. Patrons seemed to like it, but everybody else will get the 3-minute condensed version. So you get some of it, but you only get a tenth of the funniness. Which is fine. I mean, at least something's better than nothing. You can't beat the price. Hey, if you want the banana, pay for the banana. And I appreciate everybody who thinks I'm bananas. All 807 of you jumped a couple over the past day because people wanted to see what's on my iPad. And now they know, for now. And some people are clamoring for me to do a drunk Surface Pro walkthrough. So that might be what I do when we reach 900 patrons. So if you guys want me to drink and be drunk and doing videos... other than the live geek outs I do with Barnacules Nerdgasm, become a patron. There we go. I'm putting my body through the ringer. What else can I do here, man? So I'm going to wear this throughout the entire broadcast today. Because there's no live video Monday, I should say that. So, if you want to know what's on my iPad, the link is in this video's description, as well as today's thread for the AMA. Before I forget, I received this self-stirring Darth Vader mug yesterday. The Force is strong with this one. I didn't put batteries in it, though. You basically press this button, and it's a little mechanism inside that stirs. And was it John? John, is this what you sent from the UK? John Whitaker, who's a patron. I don't know if John sent this, but I have received it. Came in this box. So you know it's official Star Wars merchandise, but I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'm a big fan of getting this type of product and knowing that it could break down. I took it out of the box, but it's a self-stirring mug. How geeky is that? We featured a generic self-stirring mug when we were doing Pirillo picks a while ago in the other YouTube channel. We stopped doing Pirillo picks, but if you want Pirillo picks, just visit LockerGnome.com every day. That's Pirillo picks. Lived out. No fun video, though, because it's a lot of work to do video. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's a lot of work. So thank you for this very geeky mug. Self-stirring, Darth Vader. I could ask for nothing more. And John, I appreciate you also being a patron. Reece Langham. Let's get on with the AMA, shall we? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just keep pushing through with this. Asked, if you were granted 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Well, I'd wish for an infinite amount of wishes, and then I'm good to go. That's really all I need. I would wish to live a stress-free life. I would wish for happiness, which it's not exactly stress-free, because you can live stress-free and not be happy. Stress, takes away from the happiness. And then the third thing would be a bigger house. That's what I want, so that I can get more Darth Vader crap. I know, I might as well just rename my channel Star Wars Crap. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. No, just kidding, I'm not going to do that. Alex Vizzini asked, if you had billions of dollars, what would you do in both your personal life and professional life? Also, would you invest in startups that interest you? Yeah, possibly. If I had $1 billion, I'd buy a vocal coach so that it would be better when I sing, potentially. So I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably, I would put most of it away and live off the interest. Really. Would I invest? Possibly, but I'd invest in people, not necessarily ideas. I think a lot of good people who have, not just great ideas, but the ability to execute don't get far enough in life because they lack the resources. And I think the idea of startups, it's a great idea, but most of them fail for a reason. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to annoy you with the message. If you want to be a patron, chrispirillo.com. Yes, they take PayPal. Join us. You get a whole bunch of bonus crap. So I'm being really flippant, and I don't mean to be. I'm trying to be jolly. I don't know. Memorial Day, I know I'm supposed to be very respectful, but I didn't even realize until now that I'm wearing. Is this War Machine? The hoodie? I can't zip it up all the way. This is War Machine, right? Iron Patriot. Obviously, I'm not a total Iron Man fan, but I do appreciate having this. It came courtesy of the guy who's helping me with the LockerGnome store, and I appreciate that he clothes me. So nice. So yeah, I'd invest, but more in people, not necessarily ideas. Liz asked, what would your last meal be? Depends on the day. It would involve bacon. It would involve steak with Maytag blue cheese. It would involve sashimi. And that, really, it's as long as it had those things, I'd be happy. I'm a simple guy, simple tastes, really, nothing fancy. Those are the things I enjoy. Today, you asked me tomorrow, and it might be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know. Jenny Propis asks, how long have you lived in your house, and was it custom built to your specs? Yeah, I've lived here for a few years now. Was not custom built to my specifications, because I definitely would have done things differently. I wouldn't have had white trim throughout the house. It really annoys the hell out of me. I just picked up some floating shelves for my workshop here, so I'm going to have the floating shelves placed like directly above like the closet door and the entrance doorway, and then a floating shelf like directly in front of me. They're white, so they match the trim, and just for more places to place things that I might accrue. Not Giran, this guy. Okay, you guys got, without Googling or Binging or DuckDuckGoing, you guys know who this person is? Okay, fine. I'll give it away. He is in Jabba's palace, part of the Nikto Guard, who helps the Rancor Keeper, Giran. Now, this guy is going into this cabinet right now. This is the Jabba cabinet. At some point in the future, as soon as I've collected all the existing Jabba's palace and Jabba playset figures that are out, I'm going to be removing them from the package one day at a time and building out a Jabba shelf here in my office. The Cantina shelf creatures are back here. You guys have seen the vlog, I'm assuming. You know what's going on. So next question. Heath Hunter asked if I could do a walkthrough of the Surface Pro. Yeah, I will, but you got 900 patrons. I got to give everybody goals, right? I can't just get drunk every night for everybody's sake. Certainly not for my sake. Marisa Rocha asked, where would you live if U.S. wasn't an option? Canada. Vancouver. I'd go straight north. Yeah, straight north. You feel me? Are we good? Hey, that guy commenting, corn is outlawed in my last meal. Although corn-fed beef wouldn't be bad. Hey, if I'm going to die, might as well die with flavor in my mouth. In fact, I think I said, no, what I used to say back in the day, I used to say, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die with a steak in my mouth. Like a really good steak. But I'd always choose the least fatty cut. I'd go with a filet mignon. Filet mignon's my favorite, with a Maytag blue cheese. Although I like a good ribeye, too. The nice marbling. It's hard to find a good steak. Affordable steak, but good steak. Roman Lubers asked, Chris, you come home to the worst case scenario. Your family has been murdered. Oof. During the police investigation, I don't like where this is going. A detective informs you they know who did it. He's a well-connected son of a politician, and odds say he's going to walk. He gives you the option of going the Punisher or Batman route in your quest for justice. Which path do you walk? Diana likes Batman. And, hun, you've been murdered in a hypothetical scenario. Since she likes Batman, I'm going to go with Batman on this one. I'd probably go after him myself, though. But I'd hire Batman. Because Diana. She's the Batman fan. She doesn't collect Batman things. She doesn't plan on starting anytime soon. So please do not inundate her with Batman crap. Our life is already full of crap, and I love it. I love getting this kind of crap, including this crap. It's not crap. I mean, well, okay, it's stuff that I really, really do love, and I really do appreciate. And I got this nice handwritten letter from Robert Simmons, and Robert sent this journal, Star Wars journal. You know what I should do? Look at that. I'm never gonna write in it. I mean, it's just, this is amazing. I love this. It's got Darth Vader on it. You know I'm a fan. I think I've got one of my older journals, one of the only journals or diaries I ever kept. I was an altar boy for the wedding of my 5th grade teacher, and as a gift, I got like a diary or a journal like this. There weren't lines in it, but it had Yoda on the cover, and I think a little Yoda character on every page, and I remember journaling in it and writing about, my stresses in life and why girls don't love me and how far I've come. That's what I used to write about. And then waiting forever for Anakin Skywalker, this figure, to arrive. Which, by the way, thank you, Robert Simmons, for sending me down memory lane. I do appreciate it. Kenner used to do something where you could send away 5 proofs of purchase, and they would send you, like, a figure. This figure, this Anakin Skywalker, I never thought would arrive when I was a kid. I checked the mailbox religiously for months, if not years, for this figure. This one right here. Anakin Skywalker. So he holds a special place now in my workshop. So thank you. To me, this isn't it isn't just crap. It's stuff that I love. There we go. Well, one person's crap is Chris Pirillo's stuff that he loves. So thank you, Robert, for that stuff. See here, Paul McGinn. Wait, hang on. He told me how to say his name. Paul McGeegan. It's Paul. I know it's Paul. McGuigan? Qui-Gon? Damn it. I'm sorry, Paul. Paul, P-O-L, Paul asked, if it were up to you, what would you bring to iOS 8? Ooh, this is a good one. Speed. Smoother animations, smoother transitions, speed. Refinements in UI. I understand what they're trying to do, but there's no cohesive strategy in flattening the UI because some apps just seem to be different from other apps, but they're the default apps, and the language is all over the map. And I don't mean language like English language, but in terms of a UI or a language or something that's cohesive. So I would refine. All I want, everything else is kind of a bonus. Like, I just want refinement. Refine. I'm also, I don't mind the springboard. I'm just kind of used to it. Inevitably, when I want to launch an app, I go to search. I don't open up a folder anymore, really. Usually. Sometimes I'll jump to a folder because it's quicker because I know exactly where that folder is. But that would certainly, I think, be a tremendous help. I don't know. I think the idea of the springboard is had its day. I think having to organize or reorganize things is tedious. Just remove the tedium. That's all I want. Well, not all I want, but what I would want to see or bring to iOS 8, eliminating tedium or tediousness, administrivia. George Barrett asked, and by the way, these are all patrons asking this question. If you're a $5 a month patron, you get priority in getting your question answered. Hey, man. Hey, I'm giving my time to everybody here. So I got to give priority somewhere, and this is where I drew the line. I mean, we got all sorts of bonuses. I know some people get upset. They're like, well, you used to do everything for free. I still do a lot for free. Hello? This? Yeah. It's free. This was only $1, though. Had to pay for it. Couldn't walk out of the store. Couldn't say, excuse me, you owe this to me for free. Because I like it, and I want it for free. No, they couldn't do that. Charged me $1. I thought it was reasonable. They didn't charge me. They charged Diana. That was reasonable. George asked, when you introduce your child to gaming, will you show him or her the classic games from the NES era, or let him discover them for his or herself if it develops a personal interest while playing current games? I think what I'm likely to do, and allow me to run through the patrons at this level or higher, you know, I'd imagine the child would see the kind of games that I'm playing, and the kind of games I'm playing are probably not going to be the kind of games that they're going to be playing, so they may be interested that way, or they may look at it and like, oh my god, those are old school graphics. But, you know, if the gameplay's solid, I think they can transcend quality in terms of, you know, comparing, say, Atari's adventure to Call of Duty. Duty. So, you know, I think that there are certain things that I would have to do. You couldn't just say, here, play this game. You know, you play the game and you maybe bring the child in and play along, you know, with the child. You know, and you got to experience it with them. You can't just give it to them. You got to experience it with them. You got to bring them into your story. So the child will likely see me playing Millipede or Pac-Man, and you don't want to play. You know, that's simple games, casual games, and that's how I'm going to do it. And inevitably, if they like one type of game over another, then we'll start building from there. Puzzle games, adventure games, first-person shooters, whatever it happens to be. John Whitaker asked, "Hi Chris, what do you like to do to kick back and relax?" Nothing. I mean, nothing. Absolutely bupkis. Nothing. I do like, you know, I like taking in content. So that's not really nothing. It's just vegging. Like, having the option to not have to do something. That's what I like to do to kick back and relax. At this point, I do want to thank... I should wait until the list of patron credits are done before I thank somebody else specifically. John also asked, if you could change one thing in your life for the better, what would it be and why? I'd find a way to get health insurance, because I have to pay for it myself, and it's very expensive. And the baby is going to be even more expensive, it seems. And I'm going to have to find other ways of trying to figure out how to pay for health insurance. Because you kind of have to have health insurance. I can't just drop it. That's not truly a good option, especially with a kid on the way. And you just don't know what's going to happen. But I got to figure out how to mitigate that. See, I'm self-employed. So I would love to get free health insurance. It doesn't work that way. And I'm not likely to take a job where I could take health insurance from an employer. That wouldn't work either. So it sucks. It really sucks. Really sucks. So don't be surprised if I launch further patron campaigns in the future. Diana's going to be launching her YouTube channel, like a mostly mommy channel, and I think what we're going to do with her is do a patron campaign where, as a patron for her channel, you would get her weekly vlog a week ahead of time, and everybody else would get it the week later when she publishes it. So, I mean, you just got to figure it out, right? It's just costs, figuring out how to mitigate costs. So that's one thing I'd change, getting health insurance. Another reason I should probably move to Canada, huh? So let me thank D. Martinez, now that we've run through the list of credits for the patrons. Thank you, everybody who is supporting the things that I'm doing. You're helping, you patrons are helping this family with health insurance. Just know that. So here we go. Celebrating 30 years of the Force, this wonderful 2007 vintage coin set sent to me by D. Martinez. This is awesome. Right here we've got, it looks like, if I can get it, I'm trying to get the light reflecting accordingly. Princess Leia, a Snowtrooper, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Bosk, IG-88. And this one's kind of neat. It's The Star Wars. That's what Star Wars was originally named. The Star Wars. Celebrating 30 years of the Force. And then this is a 30 coin here. Very nice. Very special. And it just showed up without any note whatsoever. And I'm assuming it's from someone, D. Martinez. At least that's who it came from. If it came from somebody else, thank you. This see, to me, this is worth more than this. I mean, it will continue to be worth more than this. Any kind of this is better than any computer out there right here, because it's priceless. It turns into an heirloom. It never loses value, or it shouldn't lose value. It should only accrue in value. I know. I say that like every other day when I try to justify my geekiness to people who I probably don't even need to bother with. Rami, another patron, asked, what is the main difference between Mac and Windows? I use both and I can't tell what is it. Well, Mac is a computer system from Apple, and Windows is an operating system from Microsoft. So one's hardware, one's software. I don't know, unless you're talking about, and you may very well be, so let me try to translate for you. OS 10 in Windows The differences, I mean, they're staggering. I mean, they're the same. They're an operating system in that sense. You know, they help you do things with your computer. But you know, beyond that, it's just other minor nuances, right, at this stage. I got used to OS X pretty quickly. Some Windows or classic Windows users never did get used to OS X. I'm not I don't know. There are certain things that I like in Windows more than I like in OS X, and certain things I like in OS X more than I do Windows. One is not inherently better than the other. They're just different. And I don't know if I have enough time to like detail every single difference between the two. You know, it's more than anything, it's that I would say that working in OS X has been relatively frustration free. Relatively. I've run into frustrations at times. Don't get me wrong. But the nice thing, and I think this, more than anything, here's what separates the two. Now listen up and listen good. I'm not saying one is inherently better, but I'm saying this is really what separates the two. When you buy a MacBook Pro, certain edition, certain date, there are many of those made. There are only so many, and they were made, and they're supported by the company that made the hardware and the software. So you get, well, theoretically better support because you're dealing with just one company and a limited amount of SKUs, a limited amount of products, but they're the same product, generally speaking. Maybe some differences between the products in between, but if you're talking about a late 2013 MacBook Pro Retina display or whatever, there's certain, a lot of other people probably have the same system you do. With Windows, you may be buying through an OEM. So you're dealing with Windows made by Microsoft and an OEM that's a manufacturer that isn't Microsoft, and you're potentially buying it through a vendor that is further separated from Microsoft and the OEM. So you may be dealing with 3 different companies with one product. So that's the benefit of Windows, theoretically, is that you can deal with multiple companies, and that can, you know, increase competition, drive down pricing, theoretically. Well, you know, Microsoft kind of threw that idea out the window with Surface, and I think that I argued that was a great step to take. It may have been too little too late with the Surface Pro, but or too much too late, potentially. I think if they would have had the Surface Pro 7-8 years ago, it would have been, I think, potentially a game changer. But as it stands, not so much. So, you know, that's the big thing that I would say is the biggest difference between OS X and Windows is, you know, the ecosystem around those platforms, around those operating systems, in a nutshell. So that's the easiest. That's how I would choose to explain it, because I don't want to get into the Explorer versus Finder. I mean, nuances are nuances, right? You're going to have different things on each side. Matt Palmer asked, with the increasing demand for you to make drunk videos and the fact that you drink 9% ABV stout, are you concerned about developing cirrhosis for the liver? Matt, why do you think I'm trying to spread them out like maybe once a month? Or going based on the amount of patrons that we get? Because I do not want to destroy my body. I want to enjoy life, right? I just don't want to destroy it and try to enjoy it. Or I don't want to destroy my body for other people's enjoyment. So if I do a future one, we'll hit 900 patrons, I'm sure. I just don't know when. But that's likely going to be the next time I do one of those drunk videos. And do you think that'll be... Well, I'll ask the patrons. I can do a drunk walkthrough of the Surface. Then I got to try to get a hold of the Surface 3 or the Surface Pro 3 if I can. I'll work on that for everybody. But I'll work on trying to get a Surface Pro 3 if you guys and gals out there help get the community up to 900 patrons. That'd be great. By the way, don't feel bad if you're going to miss out the live video on Monday. I will be posting some special benefits well, the other things that I promised early on will be given on Monday. And I got to be general about this. I can't be specific. Sorry. I'm shrouded in a cloud of mystery here. We've got nothing else on my desk right now. That's except for a nice refresher. I need to launch Facebook here. The reason why is because I want to make sure I'm addressing everybody's question, if you've asked a question. And, speaking of, Chris.Pirillo.com. I answered even more questions over the past day, three or four questions over the past day asked by you out there in the community. I think rolling forward, I want to give a question and answer priority to those who want to get their questions answered. So feel free to ask questions, and they may turn into a blog post. I thought I was going to be able to jump directly into what I wanted to jump into, but apparently I needed to log into Facebook, and that's not easy to do when you don't have enough time to type in your long-ass password. So let's go here. Carlos Miranda Jr. asks, which MacBook is good for me? There's my answer to that question. But I'm not going to be biased. Ask me which PC is good for you. Ooh, ask me which Linux is good for you. I don't know. This is not a magical headband. I can't read your mind. I can't read your life. Context, people. Context. Psh, that's right. It's a virtual slap. That's what you got to do. Someone doesn't give you enough context around a question. Psh, virtual slap. Psh, I don't know. Will Lavender. This is in the Facebook thread, by the way. This is just questions asked by the community when I posed this last night. Will Lavender asked, we talked about in computer class what computer is better to learn on if both were equal and the user has never used one before, Mac or PC. What are your thoughts? Good question. Which computer is better to learn on? Learn what? I understand where you're going with this, like in terms of enjoying the experience, and I don't know if I have a definitive answer to this question, but I'll do my best to address it. I know, it just sounds like I answer the same questions in every video I do. So, these are the questions asked by the community. You want better answers, ask better questions. The Windows is complicated, and I'm not saying that OS X isn't, but I'll go back to the OEM theory. When you buy OS X, you can even get like free classes and lessons. Now, I think Microsoft may do that with stores, I don't know. But the problem that I see with learning on Windows is that just about every install of Windows I see is different. This is what I'm saying. Okay, that's what it boils down to, and if you don't like that, hey, screw you, I'm not in control. One OEM makes it like this, another OEM makes it like this, another OEM makes it like this. Very rarely, if ever, do you get a pure Windows experience. I mean, you can buy it, what is it? Oh God, it was the name of a program. Like Certified Windows, oh God, what was it called? Microsoft had something where if you would, kind of like what Google's trying to do with Google Silver or Android Silver program. You knew you were just going to get a straight up Windows experience. No bloatware on top of it, as people call it. Which I think it's a value add and it sets those machines apart from the others, but that is, I think, also what makes it difficult for people to translate what they see on one machine to another. So, if I'm showing Dad something here in a virtual machine in Windows, oh, you go here, click, click, click. He may say, well, my computer doesn't look like that. I don't have that icon. My icon looks like this. It's different. Like, sometimes in a radically different way or different enough for a new user. So, let's go ahead and make this leap here. And by the way, this is the last question I'm going to have time to address today. When it comes to OS X, and see, I know I'm going to get slagged as being a quote-unquote fanboy, but this is just fact. It's flat fact. You can't refute it. You cannot. When you buy OS X, or I guess get OS X with a Mac, that version of Mavericks is exactly like this version of Mavericks, is exactly like this version of Mavericks, is exactly like this version of Mavericks. So if you learn here, you're going to be able to take that same knowledge elsewhere. And my mom is the type of person who writes everything down. She writes everything down. Everything. She writes it down. And if I miss a step, I've screwed everything up. So, when she moved to OS X, it was a lot easier for me to go to a help file, copy and paste, and I knew she could get it done. I didn't have to worry about it. Didn't have to worry about the nuances of whatever the OEM did to this version of Windows, or whatever one piece of software did to mess up everything in terms of the defaults that she might use. So, for that reason, and that reason alone, I would say it's probably going to be easier for a new user to pick up OS 10 because of the ecosystem. I know, I'm going to get slagged. It's going to happen anyway. Screw you if you think that's all I think about and that's all I care about, because you obviously were not paying attention to my review of the Surface Pro and the Surface Pro 2, which I liked for Windows 8 machines or Windows 8.1 machines. What I liked about Windows 8.1. But every PC is different. That's both a blessing and a curse. So, I'm sorry. I get in trouble. I feel like I have to defend myself. It just drives me crazy to no end. There are morons out there that expect that the universe revolves around them, and it doesn't. You have to. People get mad at me for fact. It's irrefutable. It's fact. It's not a truth. It's not relative. It's fact. Come to me with facts. So the very thing you espouse can also be a weakness. If you ask the question, I'm giving my answer. You don't like my answer? We're just going to have to agree to disagree. And if you can't agree to disagree, I don't need you in my life. I want people in my life who may not always agree with me, but they appreciate the fact that I tell it like it is. I put my face out there. I put my name out there. I don't hide behind a veil of, a pseudonym. You know who I am. You know where I stand, and I'm going to tell it like it is. And if you don't like that, cots. Do your own thing. You're more than welcome to. Have at it. And this is yet another reason why my entire life does not revolve around technology. It's not a religion. It's a piece of hardware. Get over yourself. Sorry, I'm not talking to everybody out there. I'm just talking to the people who can't get over themselves and think that their personal identity is tied into an operating system. Sorry, I just think it's a little asinine. It's not a religion. It's technology. Okay? Don't kill anybody for it. All right? Just because that makes you look bad. Really makes you look bad. Kind of pathetic. Sorry, just drive me up the wall because they want to. People are intent on shoving me into a mental box that they have in their own head. Hey, if you got a problem with me, it's your problem, not mine. I'm doing well, okay? I've got enough people who at least understand and respect my position on a matter. I don't need everybody to agree with me. My self-worth is not tied into your belief in who I am or who I am not. I don't need to align with your worldviews and your world religion to respect your worldviews and your world religion. Technology. A Jedi craves not these things. All right, now that I've backhanded all the people who hate me, if you like me, I didn't backhand you. I'm shaking your hand. Here, give me your hand. I'll shake it. There we go. I just want to separate this. People, why are you mad at me? Well, I'm not mad at you. If you think I'm mad at you, then you're not the person I'm mad at. It's so hard to have a one-way conversation with a lot of people who are tuned in. If you don't have a problem with me, I don't have a problem with you. That's where it begins and ends. If you have a problem with me, I have a problem with you. That's how it works. You don't like that? Don't have a problem with me. You're in control. Thanks again for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe. Oh, wow, I really went over. Share. Thanks for doing what you do. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and appreciate the support, whatever support you guys give. I'm very happy to do this for everybody. And so thank you. Thank you. And I do love most of you. I can't love all of you. It just doesn't work that way. But I do love most of you. The next thing I was going to say, oh yes, I've got to record the What Would You Do video for today, live on YouTube in another half hour or so. What would you do if a content group wanted to work with you? Well, Hamza Ahmed, a patron, asked this question, and I will be addressing it in a separate video. A content group has wanted to work with me. Many content groups have wanted to work with me. And most, if not all of them, suck. For different reasons. I will go off on a rant on content networks and MCNs in a live video for patrons here. And if you want to know what I think, you can. You're more than welcome to find out what I think. So I will be recording that video in another half hour. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and wind down and let you go do your own thing. I will leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.